All right, guys, it is the next morning. Well, almost noon. It's 11:15, and I am about to get going on freezer cooking, and I'll show you what I got done last night. Here's my sourdough dough. This bowl ended up being big enough. It didn't overflow, so I'm glad about that. And I've got a rotisserie chicken. I had thrown this in the freezer because I didn't think I was going to use it for a while, but then I decided to use this chicken for the burritos since I didn't find any ground beef for a good price yesterday. So I am going to let that defrost and I'll shred it up and that will be in the burritos. This is the breading for the chicken strips. This is the ground up sunflower seeds and arrowroot powder and the other dry ingredients for waffles. This is another batch of waffles. I'm doing 2. And so I just need to add the wet ingredients to those and start cooking them. And then here is my list again. These are the things I've got done. Oh, the black beans are in the fridge. I cooked those last night and they turned out perfectly. For the 25 minutes I cooked them in the Instant Pot. They were great. So I still need to cube the ham. I need to cook the scrambled eggs for the breakfast burritos. I need to shred the chicken once it defrosts. And then it'll be time to assemble everything. Assemble the burritos, assemble the breakfast burritos, assemble the honey bourbon chicken that's going to be thrown in the freezer. I need to cook the waffles, bread the chicken strips, and wrap the hot dogs in the sourdough dough. I'm getting started with the first. This is a double batch of grain-free waffles. I'm going to do 2 double batches, so 4 batches total. Get those cooking because Renee is just about to have lunch and she would love to have a waffle for lunch. So I figured I'd start with that. While the waffles are still cooking, I set up all of my chicken strip breading paraphernalia, and I'm going to get started on that here in just a minute. That should hold us for a while. There's all my chicken strips that I got breaded. Each of these pans has 3 layers on it. I'm going to throw these in the freezer, get them frozen solid, and then I will take them off the pan and put them into Ziploc bags. Alright, now I'm getting my carnitas ready to put into the freezer. These are the pork sirloin tip roasts I got at Costco. They came in a pack of 4, and I put 2 in the freezer just as is. And the other ones I'm going to put in these Ziploc bags. I'm going to freeze them in this round shape so that they fit into my Instant Pot as soon as I'm ready to cook them. I have my spice rub here that I just mixed up, and all of that information about that is in my Carnitas video, and I will link that down below. And I am just going to, I think I'm going to quarter the roast, and since it's going to be shredded in the end, it just will cook faster if I cut it into smaller pieces than having it whole. And so I'm going to quarter it. I'm going to throw it in the bag. I'm going to throw in my spice rub and kind of mix it all around. And then these are broth pucks that I just froze. And I'm going to put in about 3 of those because this is about a half a cup each. So 1.5 cups will be plenty of liquid for the meat to get up to pressure in the Instant Pot when it's time to cook. Here they are, the carnitas meat with the spices and the broth pucks all ready to throw in the freezer, and once it's frozen I can just take it out of the containers and use the containers for something else, and it'll be frozen in the correct shape so I know it will fit in my Instant Pot when the time comes to cook it.
Hi.
So Tally, what did you make?
A waffle with blueberries, and then I'm going to put cream on it.
You want me to help you dump it, or are you going to do it?
You can help me.
Okay, we'll do a little. This was Talia's idea for a fun treat. Looks pretty good to me. And you're going to make one for your sister too?
Yeah. Yep.
You want one too?
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Ready?
Oh, that one's for Rue. What do you say?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Alright, here is the honey bourbon chicken that I'm going to put in the freezer. And I was going to freeze 2 batches of that, but I decided it looked really good and wanted to try it, so I put one in the Instant Pot instead of in the freezer. So I'm going to try it here, freeze this one for another time. And because of my THM vent, I reduced the amount of honey in this recipe and I replaced it with a little bit of sweet blend. So it's not quite as full of sugar as the original recipe, but it does still have some honey in it. Here's the finished batch of honey bourbon chicken. It looks amazing. Oh, and FYI, there is no bourbon in this recipe, so the name is misleading, but there is honey. Good morning, guys. This is day number 2 of my freezer cooking extravaganza, and it is 8:18, so I'm getting started a little early this morning. I'm doing hot dog wraps. This is my sourdough dough, the no-knead bread dough that I got started day before yesterday. I had it sit on the counter for 24 hours and then I put it in the fridge until I was ready to use it. So the chicken strips froze overnight and now I'm just taking them off the pan and bagging them up and I'll put them back in the freezer. Got 5 big Ziploc bags of chicken strips ready to go into the freezer, and now my big pans are all empty and ready to fill with the hot dog wraps so I can start freezing those. Now I'm getting started on some of the burritos. I didn't have quite as much rotisserie chicken left as I anticipated, so I'm gonna have to cook up probably some ground turkey and season it up real good to do a few more. This won't make a ton, but it'll be a start. I got my black beans that I cooked in the Instant Pot and cheese, and I'm just rolling them up and putting them on the pan to freeze. I got 12 burritos out of that, so that is a great start. I'm going to throw this tray into the freezer and get these frozen solid. I'll put something in between these layers so that they don't freeze together, and then I'll put them in a plastic bag when they're all finished freezing solid. Same drill on these breakfast burritos, just filling them with eggs and ham and cheese, rolling them up, putting them on the pan. 15 breakfast burritos ready to go in the freezer. Alright guys, it is day number 3 now, and I just pulled out the burritos from the freezer. They were frozen on the pan, and I bagged them up, and there they are ready to go back into the freezer. So that's a good amount. I'm going to just stick with that for now. I'm not going to do any more at this point. I'll see how long those last me. And I just have one thing left, just the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then I'm done with everything on my list. Alright, I got my peanut butter and jelly station here, and the girls are at Grandma's house except for baby Renee, who is taking a nap. So I am just sitting here. I've got my computer. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos while I just make one peanut butter and jelly sandwich after another and try to get through at least these 3 loaves of bread here. I'm just putting them into plastic bags like this, and then I will, after they're frozen, I will stack them into freezer bags and put them in the freezer. So that is my last task, so I will leave you guys there. I had fun bringing you along on my freezer cooking extravaganza. All in all, including the shopping day, it took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today is Thursday, so 4 days total. I did not attempt to get it all done in one day. I knew that wouldn't be possible, especially with our freezer space and having to put things on trays and freeze everything flat. I just knew I needed a few days to get it all done, and it made it a little less stressful for me. So we will see how long all this stuff lasts. A lot of this stuff, as you probably have already guessed, is for my husband and for my family. I don't eat a ton of it, although I do eat some. But I find that if I get, especially my husband's food, all easy to grab, that just takes a huge load off my shoulders because he works 2 jobs and I'm having to pack him a lot of food. So it's just so nice to be able to not have to think about it and not have to really prepare, but just go in the kitchen, grab the stuff, and put it in his lunchbox. And that frees up a lot of time for me to be able to cook my own food, and then also to cook like the vegetables and stuff that I add on to the meals, because a lot of the stuff I made, I mean, there's chicken strips and sandwiches and burritos. There's not a lot of vegetables in there, but that's not the only thing that my family eats. I will cut up fresh vegetables and cook. I'll do huge batches of roasted vegetables a few times a week, and I don't do those all in advance. I kind of just do that each day or every few days as I can. So just having those main things in the freezer ready to grab makes life so much easier, and I can focus on, you know, whatever food I need to make for myself, or the vegetables and stuff daily. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about any of the recipes, I will put the links down below to all the recipes I have. Let me know if you have any other questions beyond that, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye guys.